Internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow. Charlotte, yeah, they pretty much did that thing that I thought that they were going to do. However, the beginning of this actually was pretty, it was actually pretty interesting to actually sort of see most of this episode through the eyes of Shun, in this case, you and Ayami's older brother. Excuse me. And him constantly using his powers to go back in time and actually and try to fix the wrongs which happened in their future and whatnot. And if anything, it was a sort of a bittersweet story, because it's one of those things in which that no matter how many times he actually tried, it was to the point where he actually had to go blind to actually save everybody because of how many times he actually did this. Now, honestly, I don't know how many times he has actually done this. I mean, like, they've only shown like him going back about like 6, 7, 8 times, but I can only assume that it was more than that, because it started out with him going back the first few times, and his vision got blurry. Then after that, he had to get glasses, and then he went back one last time, and then he was just blind. And with that, of course, just like most people, he said, I'm about to start funding, which means I'm about to go back in time. I'm about to get a whole bunch of lottery data, all this rest of this other shit, and I'm about to go back in time. And he has been living these same three years over and over and over again. And he's pretty much deduced funding, bought well, at least like when he finally lost his vision and he did have the money, he made the school, told everybody what happened, and had pretty much all the ideas and pretty much everything else in place, all the way to the point to where he had to literally sacrifice everything, even fucking going to the lengths of erasing you and Ayami's memories so that they don't actually remember anything. And of course, as we know today, everything was working out fine all the way up until Ayumi died. And pretty much because of that, that's when he had to go back in time and actually save it. He gave his powers to you, and you went back in time to save Ayami and, all the rest of the other stuff. The only real thing that I'm really worried about right now is that I don't think he told Now about how to save his sister, because to save her brother. Sorry about that. I'm actually surprised that he didn't tell her that the lead singer of his favorite band was in town. Take her over to go and see her brother and have her sing for him, and then he'll just recover better, because that's a plot point that they really just didn't want to talk about anymore, I guess. Because before Ayumi died, it's like that was a major plot point, and they really didn't talk about that. Also, another thing is that they said that if you goes into another person's body who also has powers, he can steal those powers, and that person can never use their powers ever again. Which almost makes me wonder why would they? Well, I know why they wouldn't necessarily tell him that, but honestly, the bigger question is that I don't really get why they went and talked to most of these people who still have powers if you had already taken their powers in the first place. Meaning that he took the powers, or at least like he tried out the telekinesis power again. I believe that's the one he stole from the baseball player. And honestly, most of these powers, we don't really know like the negative effects of them. So really, it's like telling him that like he has the ability to steal all powers and cut them off from everybody else. Honestly, really looking at most of these powers and not necessarily and taking into account that most of them have a major drawback to them. Really, him stealing powers really isn't. It helps, but it's not something in which that he could really use to his advantage. Meaning, like, if he took somebody's power who could fucking explode, I mean, really, with power like that, you fucking damage yourself. So, really, I mean, like, just him with the telekinesis is bad enough. I mean, sure, giving him time-based powers right now is cool, but we already know the drawback of that. Like, if he keeps fucking using it, he will go blind. And he won't fucking gain any of his vision back. Because that's just how this shit works. And there's no cure for it. I mean, sure, falling asleep to steal somebody's powers who falls asleep, or hypnosis, or pretty much whatever, it's fine. But some of these powers, they have weird ass conditions in order for them to work. Of course. But as it all goes on, though, is that he is successful in saving Ayumi, and then he meets up with everybody again and says, "Yeah, we're going off to go and save. We're going off to go see our older brother." Finally, they're about to go attack those scientists who are after them and who want to use their powers for weapons and whatnot. But looking at how this future has been going on, though, it's like, well, somebody's not going to use their powers anymore. Well, they don't have the ability. Well, some people in this group, they don't have the power to use their abilities anymore. But hey, testing and whatnot. That is what I gotta say about that. Please tell me what do you think about this down there in the comment section. Catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.